You know where we're going?
Not really.
No, we need to go in literally the opposite direction.
Okay, perfect.
That's not our room?
No, it's 1, 2. Our room is number 3.
Should we show them where we are?
I think so.
Thus began our recent Christmas adventure in what has to be one of, if not the, most beautiful magical cities in all of Italy, Matera. I'm curious, have you guys heard of Matera before? I think recently it's becoming more well-known, particularly after a James Bond movie was shot there, but I'm not sure if it's still under most people's radars. We'll talk more about Matera later and why it's so amazing, but you should know that it's in one of our favorite regions of Italy, which is Basilicata. This tiny, tiny little region that actually used to be part of Calabria. I point this out mostly because we're still a little bit tiffed that Stanley Tucci just lumped in Matera with Puglia, just like pretending that the rest of Basilicata doesn't exist or something, I don't know.
I can't express my happiness right now because this was one of the first places where I took you,
Yeah, that's true.
and now we're back.
That's true.
It's a very special place for Eva and I because, like she said, it was actually one of the first places we traveled together. One of my first trips to Italy after meeting her, she said, I want to take you to this place called Matera. I had never heard of it, and so it's special. It's part of the story of how we fell in love. We went to Matera to accomplish some very specific Christmassy missions. I'll get to those in a minute, but for now we had a long drive and it was time to grab some dinner. Pretty much every single meal we eat when we happen to be in Basilicata starts with the same local delicacy.
Okay, those are called pepperoni cruschi, are peppers dried, and they are fried for less than 30 seconds in a very hot olive oil.
And they're just from here.
And just from here. Number 1, they are good as I remembered. Number 2, just for that, for those, you can come in.
We can get these in Calabria, but they're just not as good. They're just not as good.
Oh, buon appetito. Prego.
This dish is called Pignata. Now, Pignata is this pork, is a trattativa, where they cook meat and potatoes together, and they are, as we say in Italy, finite, ended, finished, in the oven with a pizza crust on top. All the juice of the meat and potatoes are soaked by the pizza crust. And you can't understand the smell.
It's explosive.
It's amazing. It's so tender. I'm so happy to be here.
That is just fall apart tender. I think they said that they stew it for like 8 hours or something. Buon appetito. I need to try the crust. That's the best part.
At the moment, so
It's a little cold.
it's a little cold. Now I'm ready.
We were ready to head out on our various missions for the day. Well, almost ready.
First thing, coffee.
Always, the first thing in the morning is coffee.
Now I'm in the Christmas mood.
Mission number 1 was to visit one of my favorite places in Matera, a church. No, not that church. This church.
This is an incredible church that is just literally carved into this giant hilltop rock. That's kind of how the whole city feels. It feels like it's just carved out of the solid stone of the hills. In a way, it sort of is.
So, Matera is one of the places that has the longest trace of human being settler. The particularity of this place is that all the houses, they are all built in this tufo. How do you say tufo in English? It's a very soft rock. So they are built inside these rocks, and they were actually caves.
So there across the valley, you can see some of the really old cave dwellings that Matera sprung up around.
And the strange thing about Matera is that all this part that we call Sassi, they were considered after the Second World War, they were considered like a shame of Italy because the condition, they were very, very poor condition. They didn't have water, they didn't have bathroom. So after the Second World War, they were completely abandoned.
Abandoned is the polite word. The truth is that the residents of Matera were forced from their homes. They had to move into what is now the new city of Matera that surrounds it. This was done for understandable reasons. The living conditions were not good in Matera, but as you'll see in a little bit, there's still quite a bit of pain about that historic episode. And it's kind of ironic that this city that was the shame of Italy is now this beautiful city that people come from all over the world to visit. And let's just say that the real estate market is healthy.
We can buy a casa tipica, 60 square meters, 170,000 euros.
This is 170,000 euros.
Yes, but
I won't even fit through that door. It looks like it needs a little work.
yeah,
Even though it's hard to beat just walking around, exploring Matera, all the little streets and alleyways and tunnels and stairs, we had some other things to take care of. And that's when Eva suddenly remembered the second one.
bread. Because one of the best bread in Italy is the bread of Matera. Now, I know we made a video on the best bread in the world, which is from Altamura. But do you know how far is Matera from Altamura?
Like 20
20
minutes, yeah.
So here it can't be bad. I couldn't buy the 8 kilos, but I bought at least a small version.
Little mini bread.
It's a mini bread. If the bread is good, you don't need anything else, just bread. And that's a good bread.
Unsurprisingly, considering how close we are, it's very similar to the bread of Altamura. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, I'll put a link up here. It's so good. It's such a soft, dense crumb. It's not those, what do they call that bread where it's just full of holes?
Well, you can't do anything about
this is
with
bread.
that bread.
Bread.
Here you can put some olive oil.
Ironically, you don't need to because it's
No,
so
because
good.
it's so good that you can eat by itself. Huh? I got one thing that is called pan dolce, which means sweet bread. During Christmas period, in all of Italy, there is a version of sweet bread. Like panettone is a sweet bread. So this is the Matera version. So it's made with flour, almond, raisin, A little bit of sugar because it's not too sweet. Olive oil because it's so crumbly. It's one of the best pan dolce or cookie you can imagine.
Ooh, look at that orange. It's very Christmassy.
It's Christmas in a cookie, and it's so good.
Wow.
Incidentally, that cookie has been living rent-free in our heads ever since we tried it. Ava's gonna have to take a stab at making it and see if we can release a recipe or something, because it's truly one of the best cookies we've ever had.
We might have to go back for more of that.
I'm sure.
After a little snack, we're ready to hit the road again. And by road, I mean stairs. EVA'S is nothing but stairs in Matera. Don't go to Matera if you're not ready to walk up and down a lot of stairs.
Up the stairs we go until we get to the tunnel.
Lord of the Rings joke? Anyone?
Which means that 1, we are 2 hobbits. 2, no, you are Gollum, I'm an hobbit. 2, do we need to go here or there?
Unclear.
What we had before looked like pandivia. That is the bread that the hobbit eats on the way. So,
You mean lamnas bread? What do you call it in Italian?
pandivia.
You call it street bread?
No, it's like
Pandivia?
it's like
bread of the street?
that you eat while you are traveling. It's not the bread of the street.
That's what it literally means.
No, pandivia.
I know my Italian. I've been studying on LingoPie.
Yes, when you're, for instance, traveling around Italy, it makes such a huge difference being able to understand the language. Simple things like ordering in a restaurant, to even being able to communicate with interesting people who you are going to meet. Knowing the language just opens up a whole new world. That's where today's video sponsor comes in, LingoPie. LingoPie is an innovative language learning platform where you can learn a new language just by watching TV. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's true. LingoPie offers 14 different languages to study, and you do so by consuming their library of over 3,000 movies and TV shows. These are real movies and shows shot and made in the native language that you're studying, so you can hear real native speakers talking, having normal conversations. Language experts agree that this is one of the best ways to learn a new language. Not only are you exposed to the language, but because the method is fun, you're more likely to stick to it, which is the most important thing. You can practice new phrases and vocabulary that you learn with features like interactive subtitles, flashcards. If someone's speaking a little too fast, you can slow it down, catch what they're saying a little better. You can start watching and learning with LingoPie today. Click the link down in the description below to take advantage of a free trial. See if it's right for you. See why we like it so much. A big thank you to LingoPie for sponsoring this video. Although this had nothing to do with any of our actual goals for the day, we suddenly saw a sign that temporarily changed our plans.
I think I know what we need to do.
We stepped into this little shop owned by a guy named Emanuele, who's a woodworker who was born and raised in Matera.
Io che ci sono nato nei Sassi, per me queste... E sono... Tra l'altro sto in una generazione di quelli che sono ritornati nei Sassi, perché già quelli più grandi di me di qualche anno...
Sì, perché ricordano i Sassi.
Esatto. Io sono stato fortunato perché ho vissuto per 10 anni, però in una casa dove c'erano i servizi, l'acqua corrente.
Quindi non erano quelli proprio senza bagno, senza niente.
Sono passati guai, poveretti.
So yeah, now we have a custom pastagrammer bread stamp. On to the next mission, which was Christmas shopping, specifically for Eva's dad, Papa Turi. He is a man who wants and needs little, but one thing is for sure, you can't go wrong with cheese. Some of you who watched a previous video of ours might be familiar with a cheese called Caciocavallo Podolico. It's a cheese that can be very difficult to find. I'll link this video up here where we spent several days searching all over Basilicata just to find a little bit of it. And it's one of the best cheeses we've ever had and quickly became one of Papa Turi's favorites. Fingers crossed that we could find some in this little shop that's specialized in, they call it prodotti tipici, typical products from the region.
Dear Santa Claus, please let there be Caciocavallo Podolico here today. Counting on you, bud. black chickpeas. I've never heard of such a thing.
They are just from here, so we need.
All right, we gotta get some of those.
And yes, to our delight and relief, they had caciocavallo podolico. We obviously bought a bunch of the caciocavallo, but before we were about to leave, I noticed a cheese where the little sign said, "Non ci sono parole," which means there are no words. There are no words to describe it. It's actually, I think it's a Swiss cheese, but we tried it, and sure enough,
Non sono parole.
Non ci sono le parole.
Non sono parole.
Should we get some?
Yes.
so we got some of that too. Some for Papa Tutti, some for us.
That takes care of some of our Christmas shopping.
Yes, I thought about my dad. I thought about a part of my family. And I thought also a little bit about us.
Now on to Mama Rosa. Some of you who are familiar with Eva's mom might know about her crippling magnet addiction. So being in Matera, we had to get her a Matera magnet. The thing about magnet addiction is that it's genetic, it runs in the family, and so Eva is actually showing symptoms of this cruel disease, which is why our fridge is covered in magnets, and so we had to get one for ourselves as well. The Christmas shopping was over and the sun was starting to set, but we were far from done. Once it became dark, it was time for something very special. One of the things that makes Matera really magical during Christmas is the fact that it looks like what in your mind you imagine like ancient Bethlehem or Jerusalem looking like. I don't actually know what those places looked like, but in your mind, you imagine it looking like Matera. Mel Gibson shot most of his The Passion of the Christ in Matera for this exact reason, which is why we specifically chose this day to visit Matera, because it was the day when Matera hosts their live nativity. A live nativity is something that's very common in Italy. I'd never seen it in America before. Maybe some people do it, I don't know, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a living nativity. It's kind of like the biblical version of colonial Williamsburg. People dress up in costumes and you have little scenes and stands and stuff, and it's meant to be like ancient Bethlehem. We even do one here in Dessau, of course, but it's hard to beat a living nativity in a place that looks like Matera. They had Roman soldiers and angels, people dressed as various, craftsmen and workers, blacksmiths, carpenters. They even had a part that was supposed to be the temple in Jerusalem. My one complaint is that there wasn't much food. When we do our living nativity here in Dessau, there's kuriki, there's ricotta, there's sausages. Everyone eats. The most we got in Matera was a weird instance where someone started pouring wine down Eva's throat.
Oh, Madonna me.
Buono.
È buono, è un altro No, vabbè. Ah,
Come to think of it, I actually don't know if he was the real staff or a member of the cast. But all that aside, it was pretty cool to be in Matera, transformed into ancient Bethlehem. We do have a confession to make though. We did bail on the whole thing pretty much right as we got to baby Jesus, which is obviously supposed to be the most important part of a living nativity. The problem is it was so crowded at that point, we couldn't see anything.
I can see him over there.
And it was getting increasingly cold and we were getting increasingly hungry, so we left for dinner. We obviously started with pepperoni kruski, but then Eva said that she wanted me to try a very particular dish that I'd never had before, and let's just say it's not what I expected.
I'm so excited for this. This is one of my favorite dishes. When I come to Basilicata, when I go to North of Calabria, when I go to Puglia, this is one of my favorite dishes. This is fava bean puree with chicory on top. It's one of the best combination of it. It's too good. It's like, if you never had the fava beans in your life, you should find them and make this with the south of this world.
have to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical when you were like, we need to go eat a fava bean soup. That is one of the best things you can eat on a cold day.
We had explored the beautiful streets of Matera. We'd eaten some amazing food. We'd done our Christmas shopping. We'd seen the famous living nativity of Matera. But all of that paled in comparison to our last item on the to-do list.
We have saved the best for last. The real reason why we're here in Basilicata. And that's the panettone.
This is the panettone of Italy.
Yeah, so far, not that we've tried all of them, although that's on the to-do list. We haven't tried every panettone in Italy, but so far, this is our favorite. Oh, hello.
The smell, it's from, I can smell
Even
it.
through the plastic
Yes,
bag.
through the plastic. It smells so good that I can smell through the plastic.
Oh, we don't have a knife. Yeah, roll up them sleeves.
Mom, it's so soft. It's so soft. It's a cloud. And look, you can see that they use real vanilla beans. Buon appetito e buon Natale. It just melts in your mouth. So flavorful, so cloudy. I can say cloudy.
No, don't say cloudy. It's not cloudy. The texture is like a cloud. It's not
Yes.
cloudy.
It's cloudy because it's soft like a cloud. Mamma mia.
Oh, you're so right.
It's the softest panettone that your hands ever touched in your
It
life.
really is.
It's just a cloud.
Someday, I will try every panettone in Italy to confirm, but I just don't know how you top that. Guys, Buon Natale. Buon Natale e buon appetito. And I hope that someday you find yourself in Basilicata, at the very least, to try this panettone.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed coming along on our little Christmas adventure in Matera. If you celebrate, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Buon Natale. If not, Happy Holidays. We hope that all of you get a chance this season to have some good food, share it with some good people. We will be taking next week off for a little Christmas time with the family here in Dasa, but we will see you guys in the new year. Lots of love to you all. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao.